He could sense SCP-682's key signature. It made Goku shake. SCP-682 now towering over him in his complete form. He lets out a low but deep growl at Goku. SCP-682 spins around and slams his tail onto the sand. He raises his now bloodied void, still conscious. He begins to feel the acid burn him. After the battle of SCP-088, Goku, in critical condition, is sent off to the medical ward as he is barely clinging on to life. They rush him towards the medical ward. It is thankfully still intact. Most personnel want to see him dead after what he has done, but the director says otherwise. A small Egyptian man walks up to Goku, astounded that a baby is still alive. With the amount of damage he has sustained, he spends no time activating his abilities. SCP-208 is a short, hairy Egyptian man. He dons a mane much like a lion's that phases into his long beard. SCP-208 is capable of emitting a form of electromagnetic radiation that is capable of inducing rapid cellular regeneration. He is able to completely heal almost any physical injury. Due to his love of life and overall good nature, he is free to roam around the site and even help out the medical ward. SCP-208 heals Goku, regenerating his cells in an instant. The young Saiyan opens his eyes, spooking every worker around him. He starts flailing and screaming. The director holds him down, but he notices he is rather strong for an infant. Sedation. Now, he screams. They hold on Goku's arm and inject him with a clear substance, instantly calming him down and knocking him out. At around 2 years of age, Goku is too much to handle and too aggressive. Trying to sneak attack anyone who visits him, they mainly calm him down by pairing him up with SCP-999, but sedation is sometimes necessary. The jelly-like creature calms him down, and the researchers are able to see his more gentler side. SCP-999 is a gelatinous orange slime being. Anyone who comes into contact with SCP-999 expresses great euphoria and relaxation. It seems to be attracted to the most troubled of individuals. More research concludes that Goku is not from Earth. He seems to resemble an average human apart from his tail. He possesses immense strength and endurance, and this constant need to fight and eat. They worry that with age, he will only hone these skills and become a big problem. So they introduce him to SCP-343, also known as God. SCP-343 is a human male, seemingly raceless. He refers to himself as God, and is willingly contained in his chamber, being able to escape at any time he wants. He brings joy to anyone he talks to, and has boundless knowledge. They lead 2-year-old Goku into his containment chamber. With the promise of food, Goku is ushered in by 2 guards flanking his side and the site director. 343, do you know who this is? Ah, now here's a rowdy one. Care to explain? Yeah, he's one of mine. Do you mind going into more detail? Before the site director could get an answer, SCP-343 sinks into the floor below him, disappearing completely without sounding any kind of alarm. 10 seconds later, he reappears behind Goku, which startles the barely walking toddler. In his hands is a basket of fresh fruits and vegetables. Try it, child. I could hear your stomach grumbling the second you walked in. Goku doesn't hesitate to take up the old man's offer and begins devouring the whole array of fruits and vegetables. I don't interfere with the natural cycle of my world, so I will only tell you this. His mind seems to be in disarray. His aggression is not his own. I understand. 343. Thank you for your time. Anytime, my child. With the permission of the O5 Council, the site director approves amnestics to be used on Goku. The use of this drug fixes Goku, basically substituting him hitting his head in the original Dragon Ball. He is much more responsive to human culture and teachings. He is kind and polite, but one thing did not change: his endless curiosity, his eagerness, and this sense to battle. Now, instead of trying to harm the researchers who entered his containment, he only seems to spook them or even try to tackle them. At around the age of 3, Goku was able to form his first sentence: I want to fight. At around the age of 5, his weekly physicals showed him gaining much more strength and endurance, easily being able to outpace and outmaneuver the researchers who looked over him. Around this time, they noticed that he was able to regrow his tail, but they permanently stopped it from growing again. Goku requested to fight, but the site director, who seemed to take responsibility for Goku, denied his request, as he didn't deem a 5-year-old fit to fight anyone or anything. Instead, they upped his physical activities: running, lifting, swimming, and other sports. As Goku grew into his new life, he began to feel ever more bored with the activities, and especially the people who were competing against him. That is until he was introduced to a martial artist. We can imagine this martial artist as a Diet Master Roshi. He trains Goku in martial arts and all the benefits that come along with it. Having access to a big gym all to himself, Goku gets to work with his master. He learns various fighting techniques and something called ki, his life energy. As his master is human, not Dragon Ball human but regular human, he isn't able to teach him any sort of ki blast or even flight, but Goku still learns the basics, and since in this universe he is getting a much better education, making him a bit smarter, but not by much. He's able to come up with his own techniques. The first thing that Goku is able to develop is ki detection, since this wouldn't be hard at all to learn, seeing as Vegeta picked it up without even having anyone teach him, just saying intuition and adaptability. The second Goku is able to use ki detection, he instantly picks up the ki signatures that surround him. The first thing that he is able to pick up are the dark and huge ki signatures throughout the facility, those of the other SCPs. There's one in particular that trounces everyone. This makes Goku very giddy. He asks his master whether he can sense what he can, but he isn't able to. Goku is able to develop his ki further and apply it on himself, amping his physical abilities even further. None of the researchers even know just how powerful Goku is at this point. He asks every day to be allowed to fight whatever was given off that nasty ki signature, but every day he was denied. Nothing riled Goku up anymore. None of the activities excited him. Now, he only did them without ki, so that he could develop a workout to stay in shape and to build appetite, as eating was something to look forward to every day. At around age 10, Goku had enough. His thirst for battle was far too great. It ate away at him every second of every day. I see Goku here a bit stronger than he was at the start of Dragon Ball. He remains physically active, as that's all he could do, and he's even smarter. Goku made up his mind. He was going to sneak out. He had only one target on his mind. He could sense SCP-682's ki signature. He heard rumors of the unkillable lizard. Assuming this ki signature belonged to this immortal lizard, it made Goku shake in excitement. He studied the way researchers entered and left his containment with a key card. All he had to do was blitz the researcher the next time they came to visit and snatch the key card and get out before the door closed. His containment procedures hadn't been updated since his memory was wiped, so the researchers always assumed his passivity. Remember, Goku stopped actually putting effort into his physicals. They don't really know what Goku is capable of. On a routine checkup, Goku played along, following orders as he always did. But as soon as the checkup was done and the site director bid him farewell, Goku blitzed him so fast that he didn't even notice, snatching his key card and running past him and outside his chamber, right in front of the guards stationed outside. He didn't exactly think this through enough. Alarms went off, a containment breach. The guards ordered Goku to stop, but he didn't listen. He was destined for something else. They opened fire at him, but Goku easily dodged every bullet. Riot shields met him at the end of the hallway, along with grenade launchers with gas rounds. Goku thought fast and jumped above him into a ventilation vent. He was just small enough to be able to maneuver inside easily. All he could hear was SCP-9001 as breach containment. Along with SCP-682's key signature, he's able to pick up other key signatures. Some are completely surreal, ominous, and despicable, but he's able to focus on one in particular, one that makes Goku sweat the most. He dashes forward through the vents until he arrives at a large hallway filled to the brim with security guards, all fully decked out with specialized armor and weapons, and not moving a single muscle. He can just about see the plaque hanging from the wall. SCP-682, Keter. SCP-682 is an immortal, lizard-like monster. He's extremely intelligent, fast, strong, and agile. He's able to come back from being completely destroyed and still able to hold a conversation. The SCP Foundation has tried almost everything to try to kill him. Heat, cold, radiation, even other SCPs, but every single time SCP-682 is able to adapt to anything they throw at him, becoming immune to it. He eats both organic and inorganic material to sustain himself. And did I forget to mention he hates all life and is constantly trying to escape? Goku looks ahead and determines that fighting his way through everyone will just complicate things. His real battle is just beyond that door, but how to access it? Well, duh, from this key card he stole from the director. Don't worry, he thinks. He'll just give it back when he's done with the fight. He sneaks past the security guards just above him, then, slowly creeping his way closer and closer, he jumps down behind a guard and in front of SCP-682's chamber with no sound at all. A little something he learned from his master. The door opens. Every security guard turns around. Again, Goku didn't think this through enough. Whoops. He smiles at them and says he'll only take a few rounds with him. He steps inside and closes the door. The guards lose their minds as they sound the alarm, a special one, SCP-682. Goku looks upon a large room with a big metal box at the end of the room. SCP-682 is just inside that box. He can sense him. He slowly walks up to the creature. He can hear something inside the metal box, slushing around. "Hello, Mr. Lizard," Goku says. He hears scraping coming from the inside. "Can't get out, huh? Don't worry, I'll help." Goku launches into the air and comes down hard with a kick, breaking the metal box SCP-682 is held in. A wave of hydrochloric acid spills out of the box, along with a green mass of mangled flesh and bones. "Oh no, maybe I have the wrong room? You don't seem that tough. Why are you locked in here?" The pile of flesh looks up and begins to regain its form, regenerating at an incredible rate. "Whoa," is all Goku is able to say. SCP-682 now towering over him in his complete form. He lets out a low but deep growl at Goku. Goku takes his battle stance. "Thank you." "Why?" "You're welcome. I heard you were an evil creature bent on destruction, but I don't care about all that. All I want is a sparring partner. I want to fight." "You're no different from them." SCP-682 lets out a louder, more aggressive growl. He slams his tail onto the floor, kicking up rubble and dust. "Come and find out." SCP-682 spins around and slams his tail onto the sand, catching him off guard. He sends Goku flying into the wall. SCP-682 roars, claiming a perfect victory, but Goku recovers quickly and uses the cloud of dust to conceal himself as he hops onto the monster's tail. He runs up his back and punches him directly at the base of his skull, slamming 682 into the ground. He jumps away and lands right where he started. "Sorry, but I'm not quitting yet. This is the most fun I've had ever." SCP-682 launches himself like a missile and aims directly at Goku with an intent to bite him. Goku dodges out of the way as SCP-682 slams onto the other side of the room. "You're pretty fast for how big you are, but I'm faster." Goku and SCP-682 continue to fight. Even though Goku is faster than him, he can't seem to land a decisive blow. None of his attacks seem to do anything. Throughout the fight, Goku is able to keep up and dodge, but what SCP-682 has over him is intelligence and stamina. Goku, now moving slower, is caught off guard by SCP-682's tail, but instead of slamming into the sand, it curls around his ankle, entrapping him. "No fair. Let me go." SCP-682 ignores him and slams Goku onto the floor, winning him and making him choke up blood. He continues to slam him again and again. He raises his now bloodied boy, still conscious. "Tough." SCP-682 opens his mouth and swallows him, while Goku screams not to be eaten. Goku is swallowed whole. He begins to feel the acid burn him as he is now inside SCP-682's stomach. The young Saiyan doesn't have much time, as his skin is slowly melting away. But even in this hostile environment, Goku is able to recall his training and think. His only solution is to focus his ki. He inhales and exhales, recalling the reports of his first landing and how he was able to channel his ki. He takes his stance. He combines his teaching with the power he knows he has deep within. He chants, "Ka, Me, Ha, Me, Ha." His ki swells into the palm of his hand, and with the last of his chant, he expels it forward in a beautiful blue laser. His blast rips a hole right through SCP-682 and hits the containment door, blowing it off. SCP-682 growls as Goku rips him a new hole. His intestines and stomach acid begins to leak and fall onto the ground, along with Goku. Goku quickly hops out, suffering minor acid burns. "Oh, come on now. I know you've suffered worse." "Much worse." SCP-682 lunges at Goku and pounces on him. Goku, being damaged, can't dodge this one. He slams his claw onto the sand, making him scream. He digs his nails into Goku's body. SCP-682 opens his mouth, preparing to chomp him in half. Even though Goku should be scared, pleading for his life, he isn't. The Saiyan has never had more fun than today. He's never felt more alive, with a sense of purpose. Even though he has to die, he is content with this. He tried his best. He had a good fight. He looks up and smiles at SCP-682. The monstrosity is caught off guard, taken aback by this bravado. He hesitated for a split second, and that's all it took. In an instant, SCP-682 is lit up. Various rocket launchers fired at him. He's blown to bits, as finally, the security guards have been able to mount a proper resistance. This barrage of rockets is followed up by a heavy fire from all sides, staggering and stunning SCP-682. They pull Goku out as they temporarily reclose the containment and flood the room with hydrochloric acid. More rockets are fired from up above to stop 682 from regenerating until he's consumed by the acid. He lets out a furious roar, but it's quickly deafened. He trashes around as the acid breaks him down bit by bit. Finally, he surrenders to the acid.